All right, hey everyone, Riley here from becominganelectrician.com. In this video, we're going to be talking about should you be using a tool pouch as an electrician. This is going to be a very, very hot topic because how it usually works is the bosses and the project managers and the business owners, they want you wearing the tool pouches. But for me, and from working with tons and tons of different electricians over the years, they kind of fight the tool pouches, saying they don't want the tool pouches. One, they're annoying. They're heavy, and as a worker, you have to think about the long term for your body. Working without a tool pouch, you can be pretty efficient, if not just as efficient. Yes, sometimes you can put maybe some screws in here or whatever, but what you will discover is if you have worked on a job site long enough, typically the older guys who wear a lot of tool pouches many times have back problems. And I'm telling you guys, if you look on a job site, many times the carpenters always have tons and tons of tools in their tool pouch, and especially if they're a little older, I have just seen so many times over my years that their body is in very rough shape. They're only like 45, 50 years old, and you could tell that they've been working carpentry like their whole life, and they're always wearing a tool pouch. But I want to talk about should you be wearing a tool pouch as an electrician, okay? But before we get into the video, check out my free book for apprentice electricians by going to becominganelectrician.com/subscribe. By signing up, I'll send you my free book for apprentice electricians of what I wish I knew before I got into the trade. Okay, so when it comes to a tool pouch, I've been on some job sites where they require you to wear a tool pouch no matter what, and it's just so annoying, right? But when you do have to wear a tool pouch, I'll just talk about a couple things. Number one, make sure to buy a tool pouch that is very, very light, all right? If you have to wear the suspenders, those aren't bad either. But what I found over my years is if you have a heavy tool pouch, it will rub on your leg. I even got to the point where it was rubbing so much that it actually removed the hair on my leg because it was always rubbing. But again, when you're new, when you're younger, you don't really realize the impact that it has like on your body. So if you do, this one's very, very light. It's like a mesh, right? And you can put all your tools in there. But again, like I always say, if you do have to wear a tool pouch, load it up with the bare minimum tools that you need, because I'm telling you, over time, you're gonna hurt your back, and it just happens. It happens quick. Now, depending if you're left-handed or right-handed, you'll wanna be putting this tool pouch on the side of that you always grab your tool from. And then the other pouch is all like your kind of parts, right? So if you had different screws, now the thing is, when it comes to being like a commercial electrician, where like, let's say you're bending pipe, these are so impossible to use when you're bending pipe, because sometimes you're bending 1-inch pipe, 1/2-inch pipe, 3/4-inch pipe, and it's like, well, what? So I need to have 1-inch connectors, couplings in here, and then 3/4 in here, and then 1/2-inch in here or something. And it's like, it gets so heavy, especially all those parts. So if you work commercial, most commercial guys did not wear tool pouches, and it was just awesome. Like, you were able to get a really fast workflow. Typically in commercial, when you're doing a task, you get set up for that task. Like if you need to have a certain item all the time, you make sure to get set up so that wherever you're working, it's literally within arm's reach. You just grab it, you can keep working, okay? It's a very, very fast workflow. Again, a lot of business owners, a lot of foremen, they try to push these on the workers because they're thinking about their benefit, their bottom line. They're not concerned about your body. They want to make sure the job gets done. So that's just in my experience over the years, that you could be just as efficient, especially if you wear coveralls, like I've been talking to you very often through my videos. I wear coveralls. It allowed me to have all these basic tools that I would have on me anyways, and still get a phenomenal workflow. A benefit of using coveralls versus pants is your actual main pant pockets can be useful for your staples, for your screws, whereas if you just wear work pants, you only have one set of pockets. But for example, let's say it's fall, I would be wearing sweatpants underneath my coveralls, so I would actually have two different pairs of pockets. The inside pockets could be really useful for your car keys, for your wallet that you don't want to be leaving around, right? That's kind of personal items you keep really close to you. And then the other pockets could be for screws, staples, anything like that. So coveralls gave me a phenomenal workflow, and it allowed me to really, pretty much work just as fast as someone who wears a tool pouch. But like I'm saying, in the commercial scene, they weren't really too pushy on you. Yeah, that was kind of more in the residential scene. They always tried to push, tool pouches on you. But again, I'm just going to repeat it one more time. I've seen too many times a lot of the older guys, their backs are sore, they walk kind of funny, and I'm telling you, it's because they didn't look after their body. You can work very, very fast without a tool pouch. And again, this is being an electrician. If you are a different trade, well, that's a different trade totally, right? But as an electrician, what are we doing? We're pulling wire, which means that you only need to have a hammer, side cutters on you. So like you only need to have one or two tools a lot of the times as an electrician. And yeah, so in my opinion, I would say don't wear a tool pouch. If you have to wear a tool pouch, like if they're forcing you, make sure to get a comfy belt. This one here is a pretty comfy belt. You can see it's pretty padded, okay? Again, whatever side is your dominant hand, make sure to put your tool parts on there. This one is very, very light. That's very, very important. No one tells you these things when you first get started. And then this was a really awesome one for my different screws and stuff like that. But I always try to avoid them. Or sometimes I'd even say to like the boss at the time, like, man, I work just as fast. Not to say to fight, like don't argue, don't do anything like that. Go with the flow. It's more important to keep your job and keep the money coming in, right? But I'm just saying from my own experience, I did not enjoy tool pouches. Here's also another, this is like a carpenter's tool pouch. One journeyman that I used to work with, he said, yeah, get a carpenter's apron, really useful when you're roughing in, you can put your staples. But even this, getting my hand in there was even harder than just putting it in my pocket. So if we are an electrician and if we are roughing in a home, and let's say we're pulling wire, like what do you need, right? You need staples. So what I would do is I'd take a big handful of staples, I'd put them in my pocket, in my coveralls. It's a nice durable pocket where the nail does not go through. So I've never been poked by doing that. So awesome workflow, very easy to put your hand in that pocket. Again, if you're right-handed, make sure to put the staples in the left pocket for that fast workflow. If you wanted to like boom, 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 put hand in pocket, boom, boom, boom. What else do you need? You need side cutters to cut the wire and also to remove staples if you need to do that. Again, I've shown you all these videos already for that fast workflow, and you don't need more tools than that. If you're roughing in and you're boxing, and let's say you need your tape measure, I'd always put my tape measure on the ladder. It easily clips on. So for example, let's say you need to cut a scab for the light. Well, you take the tape measure as you're going up, you measure, you bring it over to the piece of wood, you mark it, you cut it, you bring it back, you put the tape measure right back there on the ladder. You only need it when you need to use it, right? You don't need to always have it on you. I'm just trying to speak in terms of protecting your body, because when I was a worker, I kind of always thought ahead of the boss. The boss is more concerned about their bottom line, making sure the job gets done. They don't care about your body. They don't care about essentially you. This electrical industry is very cutthroat that way. At the end of the day, you got to look after yourself, and this is one way to do it, is protect your body so that you can work longer. Again, if you are working, make sure you're wearing your hearing protection, all that stuff. But again, I will say from my previous videos, this tool bag right here, this is called an electrical maintenance tool carrier. I'd highly, highly recommend looking into one of these tool bags. As you can see, I can put all my tools in there. Really, really nice. I have never had a better experience. You even have like your parts tray underneath. Okay, so again, bit of a rant for a video regarding should you wear tool pouches. Depending on the job site you're on, sometimes you might have to, but in my opinion, it was always way more enjoyable when you didn't have to. For me, I always got a really good workflow with coveralls and this bag right here, as well as the general contractor bag for all your heavy duty drills and stuff like that, okay? So that is this video. Be wise out there, protect your body, right? Like I said, a lot of the bosses, they're gonna always try to rush you or be aggressive with you, but at the end of the day, they're not wearing a tool pouch. I understand that they are the boss. They are going to the meetings. They're doing all this stuff to prepare and make sure that you get ready. But if you have a really good boss, they also want to make sure that you're able to work much longer in your career. And wearing a tool pouch, if you're not wise in how you wear a tool pouch, you're going to hurt your body, okay? Again, if you want to stay updated with the website, you guys can visit me over at becominganelectrician.com/subscribe. You can get my free book for Apprentice Electricians, things that I wish I knew to see results in your apprenticeship. I'll talk to you in the next video.